Hello. In this video, I'm going to talk about yesterday's update. It's really mundane and boring, but a critical component of what's to come. Yesterday's update is primarily about tracking your balances of your exchanges and saving that information to your drive. This is the precursor to the charting system. Now you can set this up on a multitude of levels, but the way I have it described here is to operate once a day by itself. So here is the text to it and the basic instructions and usage. This literally is the entire process. There's no fancy output. There's really nothing to it externally that tells you it's even working. But the files that it saves are a critical component needed for the charting system. So let's get into the VPS and go through and actually show how to update the system. Now before I get that far, I want to bring your attention to the installation and usage section for the cron tab line. That is literally how this entire system runs. Once a day is the preferred method, as that is what most people are used to. But realistically, if you want to run it up to as much as once an hour, it may be beneficial for more aggressive algorithms to see those changes. I personally don't believe so, simply because the more you run it, the more data it collects and stores. And eventually, the accumulation of that data is going to become a problem if you have it running too frequently, which I will demonstrate that part next. So let's go to the VPS and let's get into the file system. But first, let's go through the cron tab. As you can see, on the third line, get exchange balances. That's literally how this process runs, exactly as it is right off of the README. So now, and I almost forgot, updates. Do your updates. This is important. Update it the first time, which is taking long. Okay, now this particular system, or this particular update, changes and adds to the file structure. So you need to run update again. Now, if you don't want to go through all of the nonsense that you just saw, simply put no pull in the update. And then run it, and it will update the file structure appropriately. You must update twice because the file structure is altered. Now, you need to run update place order on all of your exchanges. Okay, I think that's all my exchanges. So run it, and really you should do this every time. The reason I don't do this is I would have to run it for every single exchange that is supported by the system. And that would mean probably 100 plus files you will never use. But you really should take this step every time you do an update. So now the update is installed. Placeholder has been updated. We are running the latest code all the way around. Now we can get to the changes. And these changes do take some time to occur. So let's get into the running directory of Jackrabbit. And you'll see, if everything went well, a statistics folder. Now, you won't have the charts folder yet because that's part of the next update coming. But you will have the balances folder. And this is the big one. This is the mundane statistics that get collected. And what this process does is it goes through all of your config files, collects all exchange information, and then one by one polls each and every exchange to deliberately catalog all of your balances. And you can track day by day the balance of each and every coin. This is the information that is collected for every single active exchange you have in your Relay installation. You will have one file appropriate to that exchange. For example, let's go to a test file. One of the test accounts. In fact, I'm just going to go through all the test accounts. That way you can see how it works and where the state of the test accounts are, because that's important for determining your profits and losses. So here we are, the first test account. You can see the starting balance is 8.48. The balance as of this morning is 8.37. And you can see from the state that it is in, balance is downtrending and the amount of value is slowly going down. So it's kind of in a holding pattern right now, or a flat market run. Fluctuation points gearing up to proceed to the next step, meaning it's either going to continue sideways or we're going to get an upward or downward movement. But if you look at yesterday's price action, it was 8.35. So between yesterday and today, we went up about 50 something, 40 something cents, 35 to 40 cents. So you will actually see your balances fluctuate on a day-by-day basis, or an hour-by-hour, or every 6 hours, however you set up the timing in your cron tab. You will be able to see your balances update appropriate to that time frame. And it will catalog every single coin in the account. So let's go to the next one. Same thing, we started at 50.04. Current balance is 50.08. Okay, I'm going to keep going here. Starting balance 69.96. Current balance 73.43. But you can see by looking at the height of the profit boundary within the account, we reached a high point of $94 before we entered another accumulation state. Not bad, really, and the purpose of equilibrium. And of course, you can see this account trades futures ETH. And you can see the exact balance that you're holding as of this morning, or your time frame of that coin. Okay. Now here we start at 8.35 and we end at 8.70, and it looks like we have a high of 9.23, 9.5. Normal fluctuations, and this coin is trading Tron. This account is trading Tron. Tongue-tied there. Okay, here we go. Starting balance 90.53, 89.99, and it reached a high point of 99.18 before it re-entered another accumulation cycle. Now we get to an account that hasn't been active for a while, but it still has dust on it. And this is annoying because I can't get rid of it. The one thing about Kraken is they don't openly have an easy way to remove dust. So I'm stuck with a whole bunch of dust. And as you can see, I've got quite a bit of it. Now you'll notice that the assets are not in any particular order, and that's fine. They don't need to be. The system automatically manages what it needs to when it reads this information. Now we get to my busy account. And it is busy. You can see I started at 822. I hit, what did I hit? 1016 was my high point before I entered an accumulation cycle. This is also running 9 different equilibriums, and it is running Black Crow Hunter. So this account is going to fluctuate aggressively. Let's get down to the bottom. You can see, for example, 795, 650, 914. Those 3 days are the impact and effect of Black Crow Hunter with ADA. And of course, you can see the actual positions that I'm holding. And you can see ADA went from 69 to 261. And then, of course, it got sold off with that nice, juicy little $2 profit. But still, it's a little more risk than I like. Now, this is really just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what this data is going to be used for. Because I have a lot of different functions that I want to actually run it through for the charting system, which all around, some of which I have already put in the experimental concepts area for the charts that I've been testing. Some are still works in progress, where I want to build a pie chart system that can show you once a day what your weights are within relation to your portfolio. So it's definitely a lot of things coming, but I have to do them in layers. But this is how you know everything is working right. When you run the test, you will see results like this. The impact and logging of your accounts. This is my secondary account that I am now running the one recipe, one coin. I have 15 different coins running through that one. It has been set up to only allow one to trade at a time. And right now it is trading alpha. The coin that actually had a high volatility that came to a complete stuck in the middle state. But that's good because that means I may or may not be getting into some really deep accumulations that I don't want. So that was the point behind this process, was to actually have a way of growing the account, but at the same time, if it gets stuck in one coin and a lot of coin fires happen on the side, I'm not going to worry about it because this will balance itself out over time. And I will accumulate appropriate to those balances. So that really is it. This whole update wrapped up into one nice, neat little situation. Boring, in all honesty, but critically important. So let me know if you have any problems getting this update to run right. It is critical that you do it and get this data set up moving, because as you can see, if you go with just once a day, it's going to take you some time to collect enough data to produce meaningful results for charting. If you go more than once a day, you'll accumulate more data, but you will consume your dry space. So you'll need to pick appropriately to your own personal situation. As you can see from the scavenger account, once a day really isn't moving very fast with one coin a day. 4 days at $2.46. And I'm now on the 5th day of $10.27. So pick the rate of timing on the basis of how quickly you think the account is going to change. Once a day is standard. Most people find that a good rate for collecting what they need. High function trading might need twice a day or 4 times a day, depending upon the frequency of your trading. Pick it appropriate to what you are actually using and what you expect out of your accounts. So, for now I'm going to wrap this up because I don't need to really go into anything else at this point. And the next update will probably be coming within a few days to a week, which will be the next layer to this system. Until then, like, subscribe, share this video, leave your feedback in the comments below or on a support server, and let me know if you have any problems. Until next time.